The trail snaked through the woods. It was a dark and twisting path. The trees loomed, their branches intertwined. They formed a suffocating canopy overhead. Sunlight struggled to penetrate. Shadows danced in the undergrowth. The air hung heavy and still. An unnatural silence pressed in from all sides. It was as if the forest itself was holding its breath, waiting, watching. This was no ordinary forest. This was a place of whispers and shadows, a place where the veil between our world and the next wore thin, a place where the lost wandered, and where something else lingered, something ancient and evil. This was the domain of he who wanders. My name is Zak Bagans. I've spent my life chasing the unknown, confronting the things that go bump in the night. I've seen things most people wouldn't believe, heard stories that would make your blood run cold, but nothing could have prepared me for what I found in that forest. I was drawn there by the legends, stories of unexplained disappearances, whispers of a malevolent entity that stalked the woods. They called him He Who Wanders, a being of pure evil forever searching for souls to claim. I had to see for myself. I had to document the truth. My backpack was heavy with equipment, cameras, EMF readers, and a digital recorder, tools of the trade. I ventured deeper into the woods. Each step forward felt like a step closer to the unknown. The air grew colder, the silence deepened. A sense of dread settled over me. I was being watched. The stories spoke of signs. Signs that were subtle yet unmistakable, warnings that he who wanders was near. A presence that could be felt before it was seen. A sudden chill in the air, an unnatural silence, and the fog. Always the fog. A thick, unnatural fog that rolled in without warning, obscuring the path, making every step uncertain, concealing the horrors that lurked within, shadows that seemed to move just out of sight. As I walked, the first tendrils of fog began to drift between the trees. They seemed almost alive. It swirled and eddied, clinging to the ground like smoke. The air grew colder. Each breath felt like ice. My breath formed clouds in front of me, each exhale a visible reminder of the cold. I felt a shiver run down my spine, a shiver that was more than just the cold. It was more than just the cold. It was a feeling of being watched. It was a primal fear, an instinct that screamed at me to turn back, an instinct warning me of danger. The silence was unnerving, no birdsong, no rustling leaves, just an oppressive quiet, only the sound of my own footsteps on the path, each step echoing in the stillness. And then I heard it. A sound that didn't belong, a faint whisper carried on the wind, a whisper that seemed to call my name, a voice, raspy and filled with malice. It sent chills down my spine. It seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere at once, surrounding me. I stopped, my heart pounding in my chest, listening, waiting. But the whisper faded, leaving only questions. Leaving me alone with the silence and the fog, alone with my fear and the unknown. The forest was changing, twisting in on itself as if it were alive and aware of my presence. The trees, once majestic, now appeared gnarled and menacing, their twisted forms casting eerie shadows. Their branches reached out like skeletal fingers, grasping at the air, as if trying to ensnare me. Their bark was cold and damp against my skin, sending shivers down my spine with every touch. The path beneath my feet grew fainter, each step making it harder to discern where I was going, almost disappearing entirely in places, swallowed by the encroaching darkness and undergrowth. The air was thick with the smell of decay, a pungent reminder of the forest's slow death. The sweet, sickly scent of death lingered, making my stomach churn. It clung to the back of my throat, making me cough and gag, making it hard to breathe, each breath a struggle against the oppressive atmosphere. I felt a growing sense of unease, a gnawing fear that something was terribly wrong. A feeling that I had ventured too far into a place where no one should ever tread. that I had crossed some invisible line into a place I was never meant to be, a forbidden realm. Shadows danced at the edge of my vision, flitting between the trees, always watching, always following. Their presence was undeniable. I tried to ignore them, to push away the fear that was creeping into my mind, to convince myself they were just tricks of the light, illusions created by my overactive imagination. But deep down I knew better. Something was hunting me, a relentless predator, stalking me through the fog and the shadows, its presence growing ever closer. And it was getting closer, its unseen eyes fixed on me, its breath hot on my neck. Panic welled up inside me. I had to get out of there. I turned to retrace my steps, but the path was gone, swallowed by the undergrowth. I was lost, hopelessly turned around. The forest seemed to press in from all sides, confining me, trapping me. I stumbled through the undergrowth. Branches whipped at my face, thorns tore at my clothes, but I didn't stop. I couldn't stop. Not with that thing out there hunting me. I could feel its presence now, close behind me, a cold, malevolent energy that seemed to drain the warmth from my body. The whispers grew louder, closer, surrounding me, mocking me, taunting me. I could feel my sanity slipping, the line between reality and nightmare blurring. I was losing myself in the darkness, and I knew that if I didn't escape soon, I would be lost forever. The fog parted for a moment, and I saw him, standing in a clearing ahead. He who wanders. He was tall and gaunt. His skin was stretched tight across his bones. His eyes glowed with an unnatural light. He was a creature of nightmares, a being of pure evil. Terror gripped me, paralyzing me. I wanted to scream, to run, but I couldn't move. I could only stand there, frozen in place, as he took a step towards me, then another and another. His eyes never left mine. They were filled with a cold, calculating hunger, the hunger of a predator sizing up its prey. I fumbled for my camera. My fingers trembled. I managed to snap a single picture. The flash illuminated the clearing for a brief moment, and then he was gone. Vanished back into the fog as quickly as he had appeared, leaving me alone with the echoes of my terror. The forest was silent once more, but the fear lingered. I looked around, my heart pounding in my chest. Every shadow seemed to move. Clutching my camera tightly, I knew I had to leave, but my legs felt like lead. Slowly I began to back away, never taking my eyes off the spot where he had stood. Then, with a burst of adrenaline, I turned and ran. The forest seemed to close in around me. Finally, I broke through the trees and into the safety of the open field. I was safe, but the memory of those glowing eyes would haunt me forever. I never found my way out of that forest. The last image captured on my camera was of that clearing. The clearing where I came face to face with he who wanders. The clearing where I was lost forever. My equipment was recovered weeks later, scattered among the trees. My camera was damaged, but the memory card was still intact. The authorities dismissed my story as a hoax, a publicity stunt gone wrong. But I know the truth. I saw what lurks in the shadows of that forest. I felt the touch of its evil. The forest claimed me that day, just like it had claimed so many others before me. It swallowed me whole, and now I am a part of its legend. Another victim of he who wanders, another lost soul forever searching for a way out. They say that the forest is never truly satisfied, that it craves the life force of the living, and that he who wanders is its servant, its instrument of death. He roams the woods searching for new victims to sate the forest's hunger. Some say he lures them in with whispers, promising them safety, offering them a way out, but it's all a lie, a cruel trick to draw them deeper into the woods, deeper into his grasp. Once he has you, there is no escape. The forest feeds on their fear, their despair. It grows stronger with each life it claims, and he who wanders grows stronger with it, his power fueled by the darkness that permeates the woods. I'm lost in the forest now, a prisoner of my own fear. I wander the endless paths, always searching, always hoping, but I know deep down that there is no escape. This is my fate, to wander these woods for all eternity. He who wanders is still out there. I can feel his presence, lurking in the shadows, watching, waiting. He is searching for me, just like he is searching for anyone foolish enough to enter his domain. The forest is silent, but it is not empty. It is alive with the souls of the lost, the victims of he who wanders. Their whispers echo through the trees, a chorus of despair, a warning to those who would dare to enter. Turn back while you still can, before it's too late.